What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends news video, and what I have for you today is the New York Comic Con reveal of the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Sentinel. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. Holy sugar, they did it, guys. After that Sentinel teaser shown, the HasLab X-Men 97 Sentinel is here. Hold up, did I just say HasLab? Take that back, because it is not. It is an open pre-order as suspected. I'll go over all the details, but first let's do a breakdown. So here is a frontal view of the Sentinel with all the accessories laid out, and it's just what I wanted in a Marvel Legends Sentinel figure. That smoothed out classic look without all those modern heavy intricate details that make them overly designed nowadays. This looks so clean. Look at those smooth looking pinless arms and legs. They look bulky yet lean at the same time, and it's perfect. The gloves, the boots, undies, and the chest all have some black panel lining flowing around it. Even some panel lining on the head, which keeps that flow consistent throughout and highlights the figure very well. The eyes and cheekbones have those heavy shadows painted around it, which makes it look almost cel-shaded. I think that's what it mainly is, or it could just be the shadow cast. I'm okay with how this looks. It passes as both cel-shaded and comic shadowing to me. Also, it does give me Jim Lee vibes, especially from the Impel Jim Lee trading cards with the shadowing on the faces. Guys, this is the closest to a Jim Lee Sentinel ever in the Marvel Legends line. Since the cartoon is based off Jim Lee's X-Men look, it's pretty much the Jim Lee Sentinel to me. That alone has me so hyped for this. Only difference is in the power core. This cartoon one is round, while Jim Lee's comic design was a more triangular shape. On this promo image, it may look like the sides on the body have some cel shading, but when you see the other images, it's not there. Let's take a look at the accessories. The accessories are a good choice. No Trask figure. I predicted a Trask figure, but unfortunately he's not here. That's fine, since it's an army builder and there's always an X-Men 97 Wave 3 for that chance. But focusing on the accessories here, the main one for me are the swappable battle damage parts, which I wanted most. You get the damaged faceplate and the crown. Love that torn up look on the crown. And a battle damaged power core with the wiring dangling out of the broken looking glass piece. Then two different sized blast effects, one large and one small. Only disappointing part about the accessory selection for me is that it doesn't come with a bendable tentacle. Like, how? It's a Sentinel. Like, it's a Sentinel's main weapon of choice. Well, technically the repulsor blast is, but it's just as vital. However, there is some good news, because Dan Yoon did tweet that the HasLab tentacle will fit on these Sentinel hands. That's cool. That's awesome to know. But what about those that didn't get the HasLab and don't have it? One tentacle should at least be thrown in. Let's be fair here, Hasbro. A tentacle should be automatically included. Also, that rock base that was shown as the teaser is not included here. I was surprised by that. I guess it was just there for decoration, but now I kind of feel like we got robbed out of an accessory. Don't get me wrong, I'm still happy with the accessory selection, but a part of me feels like we are missing out on those. Scale-wise, this thing is going to be 22.2 inches tall and 10.8 inches wide, as you see here. It is way bigger than expected, but to me, it is the right size because they are huge in the show, so 16 inches wouldn't be accurate. As I said in my video about the teaser the other day, 18 to 20 inches would be the acceptable idea. But in the back of my head, I knew a little bigger would be more accurate. And holy shit, 22 inches. And that's only 4 inches smaller than the $350 HasLab one and 2 inches shorter than the $200 HasLab Giant Man. I can't complain here. When a 6-inch figure is up to the boot of the Sentinel, it is the best size to be closest to the cartoon accuracy. Again, not exact, but close, and that's all that's needed, honestly. I always said that if they did an X-Men 97 Sentinel or Blackbird, they don't need to be 100% accurate to scale as long as it's close on the passable level by being toyetic. That's the goal, and I feel they accomplished that here. Articulation wise, it's going to have over 80 POA. We get articulated fingers again. I think there's like 25 POAs in each finger, or each hand, I should say. Here's another important thing to me that makes a Sentinel figure a Sentinel is when the hand can fully wrap around the figure to hold them. Just like the HasLab one, I freaking love it. I wanted no light feature so we can get the most out of articulation and play value. So while I didn't get the double diaphragm joint that I wanted, we get a ball rocker at the torso waist. So I'll take this. It's not a hardline waist swivel, thank God. You can see there's a slight tilt to this pose, so hopefully it gets more range too. Also, no light feature allows us to have those interchangeable chest pieces. And also, without light feature, hopefully we get better articulation in the neck so the head could look up and down a good amount. The Sentinels need to look down with the head alone without the aid of the torso. Butterfly joints wouldn't work with this aesthetic, so I'm not mad about that. But like any Sentinel figure, it's the ankles that worry me most. Hopefully working these this time. But yeah, ankles always suck on Sentinel figures. I have no expectations there. If it's great, cool. Color me surprised. If it sucks, then I'm not surprised. Overall, articulation-wise, this should be a lot friendlier to handle than the HasLab one. Price-wise, I was trying to be realistic covering the teaser video the other day as I was trying to project according to scale. In mind, I had 16 to 18 inches tall at 125 to 150, but I had a feeling that if they did 18 to 20 inches, I would guess 175. And I wouldn't be mad at that, and that's the official price. It is $174.99. I'm not mad as it's bigger than I expected, being 22 inches, so more plastic. Army builders are going to go bonkers with this. Look at this image of them standing all together. This is freaking crazy. None of them are looking down though, so I'm already worried there. You can see that they can look up a pretty decent amount in this photo here. That's important for flight poses, and also they should have included a flight stand to support these kind of flight poses. Oh yeah, man, look at that battle damaged head. It looks so good. Here's a better look. As you can see, the inner workings exposed. It has a gold painted deco in it. It's so freaking dope. The Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Sentinel is available now as an open pre-order exclusively on Hasbro Pulse from October 18th through November 26th, and it retails for $174.99. Payment will not be charged up front. You will be charged for when it ships next year. It is slated for an October 1st, 2025 release date. Alright, now to wrap up my final thoughts here. Yeah, when this show came out, I think we all kind of said, myself included, that there's no way they are not going to make X-Men 97 Sentinels for this line when you consider how extremely hot and popular that show was and still is. Honestly, for this price, don't be surprised if you see a huge surge of HasLab Sentinels on the aftermarket. I don't mean price-wise, I mean listing-wise. You are going to see a lot more, as most collectors will want this classic look way more than the modern House of X one, so they'll trade up. Price-wise, this one might devalue that HasLab one. I could see the value going down a bit. It could still hold value because it is a HasLab, being one of a kind. So I can see it go either way, but I have a feeling those prices will go down a bit. Like, out of curiosity, I just saw a few listings of a loose and complete HasLab Sentinels, and a few of them sold for $650. For that price, you can get 3 of these for less, for about $525 before taxes. 4 for $50 more by comparing that price. So it's going to be interesting to see how this release impacts those HasLab sales. Speaking of comparing HasLab prices, this new Sentinel to me makes the HasLab Giant Man look like even more of a ripoff. Don't get me wrong, I love the way the HasLab Giant Man came out, But with this only being 2 inches smaller, has more accessories, more paint, more sculpt for $25 less, not to mention Giant Man is not complete, missing an accessory already from losing out on that scroll head tier. So way more value here, and it proves that Hasbro does not need to do HasLabs at all. I mean, we already know this. Those that follow me already know. I've said it, and other people who keep it real have said it, where a multi-billion-dollar company does not need crowdfunders. Those should be for the indie companies, not corporate Mongols such as Hasbro or Mattel. Doing another Sentinel as a HasLab would have been a terrible business move. It would be overkill and unethical. $175 for a 22-inch army builder figure is not bad in my opinion. For a big army builder like this, it's fine. So this will be a lot easier to army build for me than the HasLab. I did 5 HasLab Sentinels and that costed me almost $2,000 altogether. So I'm not gonna overdo it here. I'm just going to do 3 Sentinels. I always love the idea of Sentinels coming in 3s, just like that epic Jim Lee trading card that I love. That's going to be $525 before taxes, and I'm good with that. The HasLab one now is perfect for master mold if you want to sell off any multiples of HasLabs that you have and keep one to display as your master mold on the shelf. I think this is their best looking Sentinel figure, as it's the ideal classic Sentinel I always wanted in Marvel Legends. I'm sure for most folks too. And if you think it's trash, then sure thing, pal. You're right. Have fun with that opinion. I think open pre-orders should be the go-to business model at this point over HasLabs. I've always said this. I know Hasbro don't need to do HasLabs, but if they do, it has to be chosen wisely for real dream projects, not for figures that have been made before several times. This gets a 10 out of 10 on reveal rating for me. Like I said in my last video, after seeing this teaser, this was going to be the one and only reveal for New York Comic Con, and that's how it should be with something big like this, because no one was going to talk about the other reveals over this, as it would have been overshadowed. I mean, I would have talked about the other reveals, but again, I'd be talking more about this. If you wanted more reveals, don't worry about it, man. Let this one marinate for a bit. And like I said, we still have some more reveals coming later this month with a few European shows like MCM London Comic Con and Pulse 1027 events. Be patient. So those reveals will get their time to shine later. Plus, Ryan Ting on the panel mentioned that there will be an X-Men 97 Wave 3 that's bound for next year. So start your speculation on that Wave's lineup right now. This has been the best year for Hasbro Marvel Legends ever, both releases and reveals wise. Enough said. What a comeback from their worst year last year during the modern day Hasbro era. Like night and day difference. They are finally getting most things right. Anyways, this is phenomenal, man. It's the Marvel Legends Sentinel figure of my dreams. I think at the end of the day, a lot of collectors will like this one over the HasLab one. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this X-Men 97 Sentinel? Are you copying? If so, how many if you plan on army building? For anyone that has the HasLab ones or multiples, are you thinking of selling some of those? Trading that up to get these? And if you do sell off the rest, will this entice you to keep at least one to turn your HasLab into a master mold for your main display? I'm curious to know. With X-Men 97 Wave 3 being 100% confirmed, who do you think will be in the lineup? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends news video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.